The courtroom was silent. Not a whisper, not a sound. Even the air felt still. As if space itself was watching, Commander Zevla stood in the center of the grand chamber. Her silver skin shined under the glowing lights above. She wore the armor of the Trakai Empire, proud and unbending. She had served the Empire for over 200 years. She had won battles, destroyed enemies, and crushed rebellions. But today, she was not a hero. Today, she was a prisoner. The Council of Elders sat in a half-circle above her. Their long robes flowed like smoke, and their eyes glowed with power. The center elder raised his hand. "Commander Zevla," he said slowly, "you are charged with disobeying direct orders and disrespecting a representative of Earth." Zevla did not blink. She showed no emotion. Her voice was calm and cold. "He was weak," she said. "I do not take orders from fragile creatures." The room gasped. One of the elders narrowed his eyes. "You dishonored a peace treaty," he said. "You embarrassed us in front of the entire Galactic Union. Do you think you are above the law?" Zevla's lips moved into a small, mocking smile. "I am the law on the battlefield," she replied. The elder slammed a staff into the floor. "The council has decided your punishment," he said. For the first time, Zevla showed a flicker of interest. "Punishment?" she asked. "Execution, exile, imprisonment." The elder's voice echoed through the chamber. "No," he said. "Your sentence is marriage." A shocked silence fell across the room. "Marriage?" Zevla repeated, her voice sharp. "With whom?" The elder spoke again, slowly and clearly. "You will marry the human," he said. "The one you disrespected, Captain Liam Cross." Zevla's eyes narrowed. "That is not a punishment," she hissed. "That is humiliation." "Yes." The elder replied, "It is meant to be. You will live on Earth as his wife. You will follow his customs, eat his food, sleep in his house. You will serve the peace you almost destroyed." Guards approached from behind. They placed silver cuffs on Zevla's wrist knot to hold her. "But to mark her, take her to Earth," the elder ordered. "The bond must be completed." Within 3 days, as Zevla was led away, her mind burned with rage. A human, a weak, soft, emotional creature. She would rather die, but the Trakai did not escape punishment. They obeyed, even in pain. Still, she whispered to herself, "If I must marry this human, I will do so. But when the law is satisfied, he will not survive the night." Across the galaxy on planet Earth, Captain Liam Cross was fixing his old motorcycle. He wiped grease off his hands when a message flashed on his comm screen. It was from Galactic Command. "Captain Cross," the message read, "your request for diplomatic leave is denied. You have been selected for a unique mission. You are to marry Commander Zevla of the Trakai Empire." Liam laughed. "Very funny," he said aloud. But then he saw the signature at the bottom. "High Council approved. Galactic law activated." His smile faded. "You've got to be kidding me," he whispered. The next day, a ship landed in Liam's backyard. The door opened, and Zevla stepped out. Her eyes scanned the area with disgust. "So this is Earth," she said. Dirty Liam walked forward. Wearing a shirt that read "Sarcasm Loading," he held out his hand, smiling. "Hi. I'm Liam," he said. "Nice to meet you." Future wife Zevla stared at his hand like it was a weapon. But law required it. First contact must be sealed. With a touch, slowly, she reached out and grabbed his hand. The moment their skin touched, everything changed. A sharp pulse of energy shot through both of them. Zevla gasped, her knees almost buckling. Her chest glowed faintly with blue light, and her eyes widened. "What was that?" she whispered. Liam looked at his hand. "Did you feel that too?" he asked. Zevla pulled away, shaking. No one had warned her of this. No record in her empire's database mentioned this kind of reaction. Her skin still tingled. Where he had touched her, inside her mind, a voice whispered, not hers, not his, but something older. Awakened, she looked at Liam again, this time with confusion instead of hate. What had the council done to her? What had they awakened inside her? And more importantly, why was her heart ... beating faster? The door to Liam's small house slid open. Zivla stepped inside like a warrior entering enemy territory. Her sharp eyes scanned everything. Walls, lights, furniture, even the air smelled strange to her. Liam watched her quietly. He didn't know whether to offer her tea or duck for cover. "You have a strange home," Zivla said, her voice flat. "It's small, primitive, and smells like old metal." Liam grinned. "That's my motorcycle." "Oil," he said, "adds character." She didn't smile. Instead, she walked around the room like she was scanning for threats. She stopped in front of a picture on the wall. It showed Liam and his little sister both laughing. "Is this your mate?" she asked, confused. Liam chuckled. "No, that's my sister, Anna," he said. "She's a mechanic on Mars now." Zevla turned away. Emotions were still strange to hurt, too soft, too dangerous. Trichi were not raised to feel. They were raised to follow, fight, and obey. Liam offered her a drink. "Water?" he asked. "No," she said. "Trichi do not consume earth liquids unless tested." He raised an eyebrow. "Okay, your loss," he muttered. Sipping his own glass, night began to fall. Outside, the sky turned purple and gold. Stars slowly appeared. Inside, silence stretched like a thick rope between them. Liam sat on the couch, tired, unsure what to say. Zevla remained standing, perfectly still. Staring out the window, she didn't trust this place. This planet, or this man, but something in her chest still burned. The same feeling she had when he touched her hand. It was still there, warm, slow, unfamiliar. She shook her head. It was nothing. A trick. Maybe Earth's atmosphere was poisonous. Then she heard it, a whisper, soft as wind. It came from nowhere, everywhere. "You are not alone anymore." Zevla turned sharply. "Did you speak?" she asked Liam. "No," Liam replied, confused. "I was just thinking about food." Her eyes narrowed. She could feel his thoughts, only for a second, like a flash of light in darkness. "Impossible," she whispered. "No Trichi has ever shared a mental space with another species." She turned to Liam. "There is something wrong," she said. "You did something to me." Liam stood up, hands raised. "Whoa, relax," he said. "I didn't do anything except shake your hand." "That was enough," she growled. "There's a bond forming, one I did not choose." Liam looked confused but concerned. "What kind of bond?" he asked. Zevla paused. She didn't want to say it, because even saying it made it real. "In ancient Trichi stories," she said slowly, "there was once a warrior who touched a being from another world. They formed a connection, stronger than blood, but the bond, it changed them." Liam blinked. "Well, that sounds romantic," he joked, trying to ease the tension. "It was not," she replied coldly. The warrior went mad. Suddenly, her body shivered. A vision flashed in her mind, flames screaming, stars falling, and in the middle of it all, she saw Liam calling her name. She gasped. Her knees bent, and she clutched her head. "Are you okay?" Liam rushed to her side. "Don't touch me," she hissed. But he did anyway, helping her to the couch. The moment their skin touched again, a spark ran through them both. This time, Liam felt it too. Like touching a memory that didn't belong to him. He saw a glowing city of towers in his mind. Aliens bowing before a crystal throne, and then Zevla, standing alone, Eyes full of sorrow, he let go, breathing hard. What ... was that? He whispered. Zevla stared at him. I don't know, she said softly, but it is not normal. They sat in silence, side by side, two enemies, bound by something neither understood. The stars outside blinked quietly, and deep in space, a hidden probe sent a signal to an unknown ship. The bond has started, it said. Target: human, condition, terminate. The morning on Earth came quietly, but inside Liam's house, nothing felt peaceful. Zevla had not slept. She sat in the corner of the room, eyes wide open, body still, like a statue in battle mode. She kept hearing whispers, not from the walls, not from the stars, but from inside her own mind. Liam woke up groggy, rubbing his eyes. He saw her across the room, watching him. You didn't sleep, he said, stretching. Trakai do not sleep when under threat, she replied. He sighed. Well, that's comforting. He walked toward the kitchen, pulling out bread and eggs. Want something to eat? No, Zevla said. Still stiff, she didn't want food, she wanted answers. How long have you been? Human. She asked suddenly. Liam turned slowly. All my life. He said, confused. Why? Zevla stood, her expression unreadable. I need you to touch me again, she said. Liam raised both eyebrows. Okay, that came out of nowhere. Don't be foolish, she said. We need to know if the reaction repeats. Liam stepped closer. Slowly. He reached out his hand and gently touched her wrist. In an instant, it happened again. A pulse, a spark, a flash of memory. Liam saw a city in flames. But this time, he was holding Zevla in his arms. And she was crying. Zevla gasped. She saw earth-green fields, oceans, children playing. She saw herself there, but smiling. They both pulled away at the same time, breathing fast. It's real. Zevla whispered, the bond is forming. Liam looked at her. What does that mean? She turned away. It means we're no longer two minds, she said. Something deeper is connecting us. Liam sat down, overwhelmed. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Zevla didn't answer. She remembered the legends now. Only one such bond had happened before. It changed both people forever. The last bonded pair had died in war. They had also ended the war. Suddenly, a sharp sound cut the air. Zevla's head snapped toward the window. Drone, she said. A black metallic sphere floated outside, scanning the house, then it sped away. They're watching us, she said. My people. Or yours or both. Liam stood up. Why? What do they want? To stop this, she said. They fear what happens when a Trakai bonds with a human. Liam stared at her. So, what happens? She looked down at her hands, glowing faintly with a silver light. I think we become something new, she said. Suddenly, a message appeared on Liam's screen. It was from Earth's High Command. His face turned pale as he read the words aloud. You and the Trakai commander are to report to Research Base 7 immediately. Do not resist. Zevla frowned. That's not a request, she said. Nope. Liam said, that's a trap. She nodded. Then we run. He blinked. Wait, what? We can't just... She grabbed his arm. You do not understand, she said. They will experiment on us, break the bond, or kill us both. Liam took a deep breath. This was insane, but deep inside, he already knew she was right. He looked at her. You trust me now. No, she said, but I don't trust anyone else. They grabbed a bag, stole a hoverbike from a nearby patrol, and raced toward the dark hills outside the city. Behind them, alarms began to rise. Satellites tracked their heat signatures, ships powered up in orbit. But something else was happening too. Inside them both, the bond was growing stronger. Liam could now feel her heartbeat. Zevla could hear his thoughts like soft echoes. And in the distance across, the stars, an ancient machine woke up from deep sleep. The bond has reformed. It said in an old language, activate protocol Echo 0. The hunt had begun. But so had something far more dangerous. Hope, the desert wind cut across the land like a knife. Red dust swirled around the small cave where Liam and Zevla had taken shelter. It was silent but not peaceful. It was the kind of silence that waits before a storm. Liam sat near a small fire, hands warming in the heat. Zevla stood near the entrance, eyes sharp, listening for anything unnatural. They had been running for 2 days. No calls, no signals, no help. Only shadows chasing them from both Earth and the stars. I still can't believe we're fugitives, Liam muttered. I didn't even get breakfast. Zevla didn't respond. She had barely spoken since they left. Something was bothering her. More than fear or strategy. Finally, she turned to him. I feel you, she said softly. Liam blinked. Well, that's flattering, he said. She stepped closer. Serious? No, she whispered. I feel your thoughts, your breath, even your pain. The bond is no longer light. It's inside me now. Like fire under the skin. Liam looked into her eyes. He saw it then. Not just fear, something deeper conflict. Are you scared? He asked. I am never scared, she said quickly, but even she didn't believe it. Before Liam could answer, a sharp sound echoed in the cave, a high-pitched click. To clean for nature, Zevla spun around, eyes glowing slightly. Get down. She snapped. Liam hit the floor just as the cave wall exploded. A plasma bolt tore through the rock, scorching the air from the dust. A tall figure stepped forward, armor black as the void, face covered by a silver mask. Zevla's hands lit up with energy, ready to fight. Who are you? She demanded. The figure tilted its head, voice like ice. I am Shade, executioner of the Track High Order. You have broken the purity of our kind. You have bonded with the human. You are marked for termination. Liam stood up, brushing dust from his arms. Well, that's rude, he said. Didn't even bring flowers. Shade ignored him and raised a glowing blade. This bond must end, he said. It is forbidden. Zevla stepped between Shade and Liam. You will not touch him, she said. Her voice was no longer cold. It was protective, burning. You would defend him? Shade asked, surprised. A human. Against your own kind? He is not just a human anymore, she said. And I am no longer just Track High. Without warning, she launched forward. The cave shook as her energy burst from her hands. Shade blocked it with his blade, but stumbled back. Liam grabbed a metal rod from the ground. He wasn't a warrior like Herb. He wasn't helpless either. They fought together, side by side, Zevla's energy. Liam's speed, Shade, was strong, fast, trained but not ready for a bonded pair. With a final burst of light, Zevla knocked the assassin into a wall. Shade vanished in a flash of light, teleporting out. But not before whispering, there will be more. The cave was quiet again. The fire still burned. But something inside them had changed. Liam sat down, breathing hard. You okay? Zevla nodded slowly. I protected you, she said, almost surprised. No order, no mission, just choice. Liam smiled a little. That's kind of how humans work. He said, we protect what matters. She looked at him. The bond pulsed again, warm. Silent, alive. Not a weakness, not anymore. Outside, the wind blew colder, in orbit above Earth. A council of Earth generals watched the cave footage. One of them turned to the others. They're too strong together, he said. If this bond spreads, we lose control. Another nodded. Agreed, he said. Activate Ghost Protocol. Next time they're spotted, kill them both. The world around them had changed. Not just the land or the sky, but the way Zevla and Liam felt inside their skin since the battle in the cave. The bond had grown stronger. They no longer needed words. Sometimes a look was enough. A silence shared was louder than speech. But peace didn't last. Not for them. Not anymore. Alarms echoed through the empty canyon. 6 aerial drones swept low above the ground, their red eyes blinking fast. A satellite had tracked the energy burst from Zevla's attack. Now Earth's. Forces were closing in, and they were not coming to talk. Liam pulled up an old map on his wrist screen. "There's a civilian launch port for clicks south," he said, "if we can reach it." "We might steal a ship." Zevla nodded. "Then?" "We run again," she said, "but not to hide. We run to find answers." They moved fast, through sand, through ruins, across broken roads. Liam's heart pounded. Zevla never showed it. But he could feel her fear pressing behind her calm. Suddenly, a missile streaked past them. It hit a rock wall, exploding in fire and light. Soldiers in black armor dropped from hovercrafts, surrounding them, hands up. A voice shouted, "You are ordered to surrender under Ghost Protocol." Liam turned to Zevla. "We're outnumbered," he said. "I know." She replied, "Good." She raised her hands, then released a blinding shockwave of silver light. The soldiers staggered, some screamed, their suits sparking. Liam tackled 2 from behind, grabbing a stun rifle together. They fought their way through the squad. It was not war. It was escape, at last. They reached the launch port. An old cargo ship sat forgotten in a hangar, half covered in sand. Zevla scanned the ship with her palm. "Track I-Tech," she said. "Abandoned long ago, but it will fly." Liam smiled. "Well, I always wanted to steal a spaceship." They climbed aboard, the engines coughing awake. Outside, more troops closed. In a gunship hovered just above the roof, charging its cannon. Liam gritted his teeth. "Let's go now." Zevla touched the control crystal, her hand glowing. The ship roared to life and blasted upward, leaving the troops behind as they broke through the clouds. The sky opened into space. Liam looked at Earth growing smaller behind them. No turning. "Back now," he said. Zevla sat beside him. She pulled out a small metal cube, ancient and worn. "I took this from Shade's armor," she said. "It's old, very old. It carries coordinates. To where?" Liam asked. Zevla looked out the window, her voice distant. "To a place my people erased from history. To a temple built by the first bonded pair." Liam leaned back. "Sounds like a romantic honeymoon spot," he said, half joking. But neither of them smiled, because deep inside, I think both felt it. This was not just escape. This was fate. Suddenly, the ship's lights flickered. A message blinked on the screen. Unfamiliar symbols turned into a simple phrase. "You are being watched." Liam stared at it. Watched by who? Zevla didn't answer, because in that moment, her eyes rolled back. Her body went still. Then dropped to the floor. "Zevla." Liam shouted, catching her, but she was no longer fully here. Her mind was pulled somewhere else into a vision. She stood in a massive chamber, light pulsing from the walls at the center. A giant stone statue of 2 beings, one track, holding hands, and above them a symbol glowing with power. Then a voice echoed in the darkness, ancient and calm. "When the bond returns, the stars will shift. One will rise, one must fall." Zevla's eyes opened again, breath shaking. "What? Did you see?" Liam asked. She looked at him, tears not common for her gathering in the corners of her eyes. "We are not just bonded," she whispered. "We are chosen." Liam stared at her. "What does that mean?" But before she could answer, a red warning flashed on the ship's screen. Another ship was following them. Not from Earth, not from Trakai. Something else, something older. And it was getting closer, The stars outside the window shimmered like silent watchers. But inside the stolen ship, there was no peace, only tension, breath, and the sound of destiny catching up. Liam stared at the red alert on the screen. Unidentified ship approaching unknown origin. He checked the scanners. No flag, no ID. No signal, just a silent hunter in the dark. Zevla stood at the back of the ship, arms crossed, but her face was pale. Ever since the vision in the temple, she had changed, quieter, heavier, like she was carrying something too large to speak. Liam looked over at her. Are you going to tell me what that voice meant? She didn't answer right away. Instead, she slowly walked to the center of the control room and placed the old cube on the table. It lit up again, this time without touch. A projection appeared. It showed the same vision she saw, 2 figures, human and Trakai, standing before a collapsing star. Liam stepped closer. What is this? Zivla finally spoke. A warning, she said. Thousands of years ago, there was another bond like ours. The first, they thought the bond was love, she continued. But it was more. It was power, energy, evolution, and it frightened everyone. Liam watched the projection shift. The 2 bonded figures stood alone while fleets gathered against them. The galaxy feared them, she said, so they destroyed them, but not before those 2 awakened. Something ancient. He leaned in, eyes narrowing. Awakened what? Zivla's voice dropped. Change, she whispered. Human and Trakai DNA mixed in a way nature never allowed. They became more than either species, and now it's happening again with us. The ship suddenly shook. Not from weapons, but from inside. The lights blinked, and strange symbols appeared on every screen. Liam stared, confused. Why is the ship doing that? Zivla's eyes widened. It's reacting to the bond. We're nearing full connection. He turned to her. And that's a good thing, right? No, she said. It's the point of no return. If we complete the bond fully, we don't stay the same. One of us will change forever. Before he could answer, a deep humming filled the room. The unknown ship outside was docking without permission. And it wasn't firing, it was calling. A voice echoed through the walls, not through speakers, but through their minds. Enter, it said. We have been waiting. Against all logic, all fear, they obeyed. Drawn like moths to the center of a truth too large to ignore, they boarded the silent ship. Its walls were made of living metal, shifting, breathing, glowing faintly. They followed a path of light to a great chamber. In the center stood another being, tall, robed in silver, face hidden by a hood of stars. I am the Echo, it said, the last witness of the first bond. Zevla stepped forward, her voice steady. Why did they die? She asked, why does everyone fear the bond? The Echo lifted its head. They didn't die because of love, it said. They died because they refused to choose. Liam stepped beside her. Choose what? The Echo looked at them both, and for the first time, they felt it, a future. Laid out like a map. 2 roads, one bright, one dark. One where the bond saved the galaxy, and one where it burned it. The bond gives power, the Echo said. But power without sacrifice destroys. Zevla looked at Liam, her voice cracked. For the first time, if we complete it, she said, only one of us stays who we are. The other becomes something else. Liam took her hand. It was warm, steady, trembling under his fingers. I'm not losing you, he said. She looked up. You might have too, she whispered. The room began to shift. The bond pulsed brighter now, almost alive. Around them, time bent like wind. The Echo spoke again. One must rise, one must fall. They had to decide, complete the bond, risk everything, or break it, lose each other forever. And behind all of it, war was coming. Earth, the Trakai, and others were gathering fleets, not to fight each other, but to destroy them, because they were no longer just 2 people. They were a turning point. The next choice would decide everything. Time stopped, not in the way clocks break, but in the way hearts freeze before a decision too big to breathe through. Zevla stood inside the ancient chamber, her body glowing with soft silver light. Liam stood beside her, a faint golden aura flickering from his skin. Their hands were joined, but their paths were splitting around them. The old ship, the Echo Sanctuary, was starting to crumble. Power surged through the walls. Lights flashed like distant stars dying, and in the center of the room, a crystal throne appeared. Empty, waiting. The Echo's voice was calm but heavy. One of you must step forward. One of you must ascend. Liam looked at Zivla. I'll do it, he said. No, she whispered. You're not built for what comes next. He smiled. Exactly why I should. But Zevla was already walking toward the throne, her movements slow, steady, as if her body had already made the choice her mind feared. I was raised to serve the Empire, she said, but for the first time, I want to choose something for myself. Liam reached for her hand. Then choose me, he said softly. Not the power, not the bond. She paused, then turned to face him, eyes shining. This is choosing you, she said. She sat on the throne, and the chamber erupted in light. Energy burst from her chest like a supernova held in flesh. Symbols appeared in the air, codes from forgotten times, and Liam staggered back as the connection between them grew sharp. Burning alive, Zevla screamed, not in pain, but in transformation. Her silver skin turned brighter, almost translucent. Wings of pure light unfolded behind her. She wasn't just track high now. She wasn't just bonded. She was something new. A fusion of human heart and alien fire. The chamber walls collapsed outward, revealing deep space, and outside, a war had begun. Earth ships circled track-high destroyers. Lasers danced between stars. Missiles rained across blackness. But the moment Zevla rose, everything stopped. Time held its breath again. From her new form came a sound. Not voice, not command, just will. And across the battlefield, every pilot, every soldier felt it. Peace, sorrow, truth. The bond had awakened something ancient, something they had forgotten. Liam watched from the broken floor, his body still human, still fragile, but in his chest. He felt her, still there, still choosing him. She looked down from above, but her voice echoed in his mind. You gave me freedom. Now I give you a future. She raised her hand, and the ships powered down. Weapons melted into stardust. Engines turned cold. No one spoke. The war ended without a shot, because something more powerful than fear had entered the sky. A new legend had been born. Weeks later, Earth and the Trackeye signed the first true peace treaty, not from pressure, not from threats, but from awe. They had seen what the bond could become. Not a weapon, but a bridge. Liam stood on a quiet hill, looking up at the night sky. He hadn't seen Zevla since that day. Her body had vanished into light, her presence now scattered across stars. But every time he closed his eyes, he felt her. Not gone, just changed. As he walked back toward the city, he whispered under his breath. She was forced to marry a human, but she became more than anyone expected, and somehow, she still chose me. And above him, for just a moment, the stars shifted, forming a shape, two hands, reaching toward each other, bonded, awakened, eternal.